video, we're going to talk all about biohacking. Biohacking is a buzzword that is out there right now. There's conferences on it. There's facilities opening up around the world that are focused on this. But what is it and what can it actually do for you? Well, I just spent a couple of days down in South Florida touring two incredible facilities. And this is part one of two as I take you through these facilities and help you understand, number one, what are these technologies that they have on offering and how can it support you? Because knowledge is power, right? We don't know what we don't know. And there is so much out there to help optimize our body. But the second thing is why I was there, which was to be able to support their clientele at home, to be able to biohack at home in between their sessions, in between therapies, because nothing is standalone. Everything augments one another. And we really want to see what we can do to replenish the body's ability to heal itself. So what are these facilities really looking at? They're looking at optimizing your body. Say you're an elite athlete or you're someone that's really sick. We want to help with recovery. Right? We want to help with energy, with focus, maximizing the brain's ability to operate and do what it's designed to do. And then also with your own peak performance. Now, I want to take you through a tour of the Biohack Lab. The Biohack Lab has an incredible backstory. It actually reminds me a lot of my story as to how I got into doing what I'm doing right now. And that is because I lost my health. We were searching for modalities, some of which are at this facility I had in my own home. And then once I got myself well, I thought there are other people looking and searching. And the family behind the Biohack Lab was trying to help one of their family members. And through that, came across these technologies, started to use them in their own home, started to have people coming through their house and realized we need to open up a facility and be able to help others gain access to this type of thing. So I want to take you through a tour, and then we're going to talk about everything that's there, what it's doing, so you can at least get a cursory overview of options that are out there for you or loved ones that are looking at severe health issues or really needing to maximize their body. This is me out in front of the Biohack Lab. It's located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And you can see here on the door all of the things this can help, right? Look through this, tick off the things that you need support with, and you can find it here. And now they're adding redox. So let's talk about this first room. In this room, you've got cryotherapy. So you can do cold therapy without getting wet. They pump in cold air. And then I want to talk for a moment about this machine. It's the Hocket machine, which is pretty incredible because this is going to help to take out toxins. It removes toxins from the system like viruses, mold, fungi, bacteria. It's going to help the body to combat oxidative stress. This improves your mitochondria's ability to make energy. So this has been shown actually to be helpful for things like fibroids, infertility issues that women are having, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, some of these things that a lot of times the medical community isn't sure how to address or really how to support. They can diagnose it, tell you have it, but they're not sure how to support it. Now, in this facility, there's different rooms. This room was the infrared sauna. And interestingly, right next door is red light therapy, and you don't want to mix sauna and red light. This is the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. This is one of the things I had to support me. And here's their red light panel, right? Which is, as we know, supporting things like cellular rejuvenation and healing at the dermal level. Now, what I was saying is that the sauna and the red light can actually cancel one another out. So I know some people have infrared saunas at their home and are bringing red lights into their home, but just make sure you understand that these two therapies can cancel one another out. So you want to be cognizant about what it is that you're doing. Now, the next room is the facility that their acupuncturist uses, and there's a PEMF mat. Now, these mats are really interesting because they're really gaining a lot of popularity. They're being used for things like recovering from injury, issues related to pain at an injury site or something like arthritis. It stimulates the organs, and what happens is it sends magnetic energy into different body parts and actually supports on the cellular level. So these are mats that you can get at your own house, but you can also go in here and go in for a session because all of these modalities are not cheap, which is why the Biohacking Lab exists. Now, as we left that room, the next room has the biocharger in it. And this is pretty fascinating. It has a Tesla coil in there and all sorts of other things that are basically looking to simulate the Earth's magnetic field. Now, Because we live in concrete blocks, right? Or inside most of the time, we're not out in nature and we're not getting the benefit of some of the things that just being in nature will bring you. And so what happens here is that the biocharger is actually letting off these different energy fields, and it's able to then stimulate healing in your own body. So this is something that you can go in and sit next to it. You can bring a group in. It's an incredibly cool device, very unique, and something that a lot of people love. Now, the next thing they had was lymphatic drainage. And this was basically a suit that you wear, and it uses different chambers and exact pressure to move your lymph system, which is going to help you get rid of destroyed cells, excess water. It's really going to help get debris out of the system. So it is a very powerful modality. I actually got to do this at the other facility. And it does, it feels like a great hug. Here we've got the Brain Tap. Now, Brain Tap is really to optimize the potential of your brain power. If you are under high stress, if you have a hard time sleeping, if you have low energy, this uses light and sound to stimulate the brain and cause your brain waves to get into different activity, which can support your system in pretty incredible ways. That room also had a vagus nerve stimulator and was able to structure water in a certain way so that, again, you can replenish your system in a multitude of ways, right? Everything they kept saying to me at this lab was nothing by itself, everything in tandem. One thing is going to support the other. So let's go back in. There were a couple more rooms that I want to show you. This room was their somatic healing room. This bed actually vibrates. And so when you're in a meditation, it's vibrating and helping the system to calm down. Now, in this room, they also do stem cell infusions. They do IV therapy, ozone, ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. They have an MD there on staff who has a room where she does all of these different things, and it has an incredible demeanor. You will absolutely adore her if you go in. She's very, very supportive with her clientele. And so here you're seeing the IV area and the ability to, again, put ozone into the body. There's a lot of healing, right, with oxygen. This takes me now into the sports room, and this is Vasper. Pretty fascinating. They say this is NASA technology, but all that blue you're seeing is actually a bed that holds water, and it goes through this refrigeration system and pumps cold water all around. So your body, as you're working out, is staying cold. And because it's staying cold, it doesn't know that it's working out. Now, this is pretty fascinating because you're not going to sweat in this workout, and it causes stress onto the body, but the body doesn't know until you stop working out, until the cold goes away, and all of a sudden there is this cascade of hormones, and the body is able to expedite recovery because all of a sudden it realizes, right, the intensity that it just went through. This can help with metabolism. It helps to build strength. It helps to build endurance. It's a pretty fascinating piece of equipment. And if you're somebody that loves to go to the gym, but maybe doesn't have the time, or it's stressing your body too much, this really cuts the time you need at the gym in half. It's going to help you develop very lean muscle. And it is an incredible experience to go through something like that. Definitely a different sort of sensation. But again, we are biohacking performance, the ability of the body to repair and also pushing it to build up its endurance. Now, there are just 2 more machines left in this room. So basically what this one does is you're working out, and you can see that he's pointing to these 2 different bags, and you've got oxygen on, you're working out, whether you're on the bike or you're doing jumping jacks, whatever it might be. And what happens is that the top bag has a ton of oxygen, something over 90%, I believe. So your body's getting flooded with oxygen. And then they switch it at one point, and you go so that you have less oxygen. I want to say it was down around 12%. Don't quote me. That's just what I'm coming up with from my memory. But basically a depletion of oxygen. And so it sends an alarm into the body where the body's going, oh my gosh, we don't have enough oxygen. So what does it do? It sends it to the vital organs. It also sends it to places that it's needed, maybe where you have inflammation or injury in the body. Those areas get flooded with oxygen because they have a higher need. And so what do? We biohacked the body, right? We got the body doing something that's going to actually promote recovery even faster. Now, this also, of course, can help athletes with performance. This is something that a lot of elite athletes are using, and it's really good for anti-aging as well. The last one, this is something called the CVAC. Dr. David Silverman from ASEA's medical board was there with me, and he went into this machine. This is called the Cellular Repair Pod, and it was really fun. This basically makes it feel like you're going up in altitude. He said it felt like he was just having to pop his ears. It was going in and out of this. And what this repair pod does, it improves your lymphatic system and flow, but also around the brain. So more oxygen is getting to the brain, more oxygen is getting to the different body tissues. It actually makes you more effective at breathing. It helps to remove toxins from the system, promoting metabolic waste to be moved from the system, and it supports your immune system. So incredible. If you want to visit the Biohacking Lab, all of these things you can do. You can get a day pass. You can just go in for one particular therapy if you're needing it. But they have a really small staff there. It's very intimate, and they want to make a plan designed for you and to support you. Now, I want to talk about what you can do from home, because you can biohack from home. And this is why, again, we were there. So we ended the day talking about that beautiful blue bottle and allowing the staff to really understand what redox is, how it works, and how it aligns with everything that they're doing. We talked both about the liquid as well as the gel. And it was an incredible conversation because you could see the light bulbs going off with how everything they're doing at that facility is what redox does in your system. So redox signaling molecules are a biohack, right? We make less and less of these molecules as we age. And when you can replenish through the liquid, all of a sudden your body has the same signaling it had when you were young. Who repairs faster, a 5-year-old or a 30-year-old? A 30-year-old or a 50-year-old, right? So we're biohacking the system, allowing the body to now be able to signal to identify damage and repair like it did when you were young. It replenishes the system supply. So we know that this also helps with activating different genetic pathways that help with the immune system, right? So that immune response can go up, helping with inflammation so that inflammation can be balanced in the system. Hormone modulation, digestive enzyme production, cardiovascular health. We know this through the research. We know that this activates the NRF2, right? When NRF2, and keep one, let's go of it, and NRF2 can go into the nucleus of the cell, a cascading response happens where all of a sudden glutathione is released into the body, your body's master antioxidant. Well, what does that mean? It means your body can now get rid of toxins. It means your body can now handle inflammation in the system. And so as we started to explain what the research is showing SIA redox can do in the body, what they're doing at their facility, it was just this incredible, it fit like a glove, where they went, okay, so this is something our clientele can do to amplify and augment all of the treatments we're doing here at the facility, all the technologies we're using. This optimizes the body so that our clients can also do it at home. And so this facility is bringing in a SIA redox to be able to share with their clientele. We also taught them about the redox gel, because this is really for localized use. Where do we want to increase blood flow to an area? Where do we want to stimulate cellular repair in an area so that the body can turn over, right? We see it with skin cells, turning over young skin cells, getting in there faster. So that you look younger, right? The anti-aging benefits. So it's really exciting to know we can optimize our bodies in this way. It's exciting to know that cellular repair is really the future, being able to help your most foundational piece, right? We're just trillions of cells. And if we can help those cells, we'll help every tissue of the body, which means every organ, which is every system in the body. So I hope that you go visit this incredible facility if you're ever down in Fort Lauderdale. If you have questions, please put them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. And I hope that you are biohacking at home, that you're replenishing your system with a SIA redox at least to help get the most out of your system. And if you have questions with that, of course, if you've made it this far in the video, you qualify for a consultation with me to discuss how this can support your goals, your needs in the health arena. And I would love to talk with you. So just reach out to me. My information is in the description. If you haven't already, be sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click for notifications, as I'm always sharing information about the redox signaling technology and really how to maximize this body of yours. Because when you have your health, you have everything. The moment you don't have it, everything goes to the side. I learned that in my 20s when I lost my health, and I want to make sure that everyone is able to keep themselves at an optimum level. Or if you have lost your health, you have the resources you need to get it back as quickly as possible.